Most entrepreneurs, when they decide they're going to go out and do their own thing, I'll go back to landscaper. You're working for a landscaper because maybe you didn't go to college, university, and you want to just work physical. That's all you can do, but you work for a landscaper. You decide you're going to go on your own. You go to the boss and say, sorry, I'm leaving. You start making money. A lot of people forget that for every dollar you earn, that's not your dollar, not the whole dollar.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Tell us a little bit more about your experience finding the first client. What is message and what do you want to share with entrepreneurs? Good, the bad, and the ugly of this process.
Grandma always had two choices for dinner: take it or leave it. This is our service. Some people, our main business income tax. So that's basic. Every country has tax preparers. They have high-level accountants that work with international firms. They have storefront that deals with just individual taxpayers, maybe retirees or students, simple returns. How much service can you give to somebody filing a tax return? Do you offer tea? Do you offer cookies? Do you offer back massages? Do you offer, one night in the hotel? One of the things that we've done each
It's
year,
very difficult. It's to make your business different.
it's
Very tough.
very tough, something different. During COVID 2020, most countries went online digital. And our government was similar to the US. We're very close related to the US. I know a lot of accountants in the US. Canada was similar. We adopted online forms and the government accepted them. Prior to that, they wanted wet signatures. So we first adopted. You have to be able to adopt very, very quickly. Another thing we've done to differentiate ourselves is we set our prices in the top 80% of all accounting firms, big firms, small firms. And people that come in for our smaller services say, well, it's a little bit expensive. But we actually make money off the other services, the financial services. So we bring people in on the tax side. But what we do in January is we send out an email every week to our database, 50,000 plus, is if you sign the
Wow, that's a
document
big
early,
database.
if you sign the documents early and you pay in January, you get 40% off. But this week,
Oh, wow.
the email is out on Friday. You have 3 days it's like Black Friday. You have 3 days to take us up on the 40% offer because in February it drops to 30%. And it goes from 40 to 30 to 20 to 10. So all our existing clients get 10% off no matter what. Even though our prices are made high in the invoice, it shows
100%.
the discount. I learned that little tip from the first lawyers we went to see. This is 2002, so 24 years ago.
Oh,
It
wow.
was $300 an hour for the lawyer when we were setting up. And I went to have a consultation with them because we wanted to franchise, and there were two lawyers in the room, so it was $600 an hour. And it was a 2 hour meeting.
Wow.
So I got the invoice, it was
Wow.
$1,200. And I looked at it and I almost
Wow.
choked. I almost 2002, so 24, 25 years ago. And at the bottom, it had a massive discount. So it was a $1,200 invoice, but it had a $650 discount.
Mm-hmm.
So the actual bill was only $550. And I felt great. I felt $550 bill 24 years ago for a 2 hour.
Absolutely.
And we've done that ever since that meeting. Every one of our
Mm-hmm.
invoices has a discount.
Mm-hmm. What tips do you have? Because that's the weakest point that we have. Or what do you recommend entrepreneurs that they should be doing with the business in order to communicate the value effectively, which is the weakest link? Of course, everybody, it sounds very nice. Okay, I'm gonna charge in the 80% top tier, but in order to charge 80% to tier, you need to know what you're doing. You need to know how to communicate your value. You need to have excellent customer service. You have to be professional. Lot of things go to this. So tell us what are you to our listeners in communicate the value effectively.
I believe you have to be prepared for it. Think of those situations ahead of time. Think of maybe your situation after watching the podcast. They can listen to some of these scenarios, but just be prepared. I heard a landscaper once, he was giving a quote on a yard, and it was a fairly yard, I think 8,000 square foot lot, front yard, backyard, average size in a small neighborhood. And the front and back was going to be $120 a week to come and cut the grass and trim and spray a couple times a year with the weed killer. And the client was asking for a deal. So it's $120 a week. He says, well, I could cut the price in half, but then I'll just cut the front or the back. You decide. And
Wow.
the client laughed a little bit. And I was watching this. I was doing other work on the house. I used to work in the trades. This was my early 20s. And I thought, how brilliant. That was, 35, 40 years ago. And I still remember that. He said, well, we could just cut the front or the back. You decide. And I could give you a deal.
So he stayed
But
with the value, yeah?
he stuck
That's
with
the
the
other thing,
value.
that's the thing as well. Like, he said, look, this
But
is
then he
what
he
it worked.
reiterated that we include the trimming and we include
Exactly.
in the spring we spray it, in the fall
Hmm.
we
And the
prep
other
it for the
people won't
winter.
do that. And then, like this, you have to the value effectively. And if people come and ask you for discount, don't drop the price. Maybe they can give you a call, Robert, or whatever, and don't drop the price. Learn how to communicate the value effectively, add more value. There is something in your service that is not communicated effectively, or yeah, or you can, like I always said, high perceived value at the low cost to you. Okay. And this is something
Anchoring,
that
price anchoring.
exactly. So, but don't drop the price. I did that, and I was so much. I ended up with the worst, with the lower tier of the clients, and they were paying less money. We're giving more problems.
Those clients
Overall,
give you bad
overall,
reviews.
yeah,
They give
yeah,
you bad
yeah.
reviews. They
Big
complain. They always get the
operation.
cheaper price.
It's not important. Your product is not important. Even sometimes I see supermarkets saying, "Okay, we have the cheapest food." Even that I'm saying, I'm like, wow, good. You are targeting this 20% of the population that food is not important, but I hope that's enough because I don't think you will buy the cheap food if food is not important to you. If food is important to you, you won't get the price. Bottom line, the price. People think that price drive behavior or purchasability. More you drop the price. However, if you have a deal, you communicate the value effectively, like you said. Okay, this is our price, but you know what? If you file in these 3 days of January, you will have a good deal. A completely different game, right? And then but another question, Robert, that I want to ask you regarding this podcast is there are two sides of the entrepreneur. One is making money, the other one is keeping the money. I'm glad that you're an accountant. Okay, so a lot of entrepreneurs come to you to use the taxes and other services. However, the fact that you're a good entrepreneur, that doesn't mean that you're a good investor. Uh, used to be the other way, if you're a good investor, no, used to be no. Is my opinion. The other way, if you're a good investor, you have a large chance to be a good entrepreneur. However, the fact that you are a good entrepreneur, that you have the ability to make money, have nothing to do with the ability that you have to keep money. So, and we have entrepreneurs that have been interviewed in this podcast that make millions, and they took all this money, they give it to finance company, whatever, and after 2 years, when they look, a lot of the zero were missing. So they start to learn gonna take to become a good investor. So tell us a little bit more because we don't want entrepreneurs, after they work hard for the money and everything that they lose it, they don't understand the investment side of it. So when do you think that entrepreneurs should be looking at, okay, because you get passionate about your business and you're making money and you think that all this, but COVID happen, happen, anything happen, and you can go out of business and in 2, 3 months you go to zero. So what message do you have for entrepreneurs that they don't know that there is a second part of the equation that if they don't start to master, to learn how to become a good investor, the all the work that they think is amazing, something can happen and they can go to zero very quickly. And then they have to start all over again. So what's your
Making
message?
money and keeping money is two different things.
Absolutely.
Most entrepreneurs, when they decide they're going to go out and do their own thing, I'll go back to landscaper. You're working for a landscaper because maybe you didn't go to college, university, and you want to just work physical. That's all you can do, but you work for a landscaper. You decide you're going to go on your own. You go to the boss and say, "Sorry, I'm leaving." You start making money. A lot of people forget that for every dollar you earn, that's not your dollar, not the whole dollar. Some of it goes to the government. Some of it goes to expenses. You have to pay for gas for the lawnmower. You didn't have to worry about that when you were working for the landscaper. He paid for the gas. But then there's a way, working with professionals where we help clients is squeezing as much juice out of the orange. So taking that dollar and putting some away for a rainy day, whether it's in an insurance policy or investing in new equipment, taking that dollar and cutting it up in several pieces and allocating it to different purposes. Everybody has a different goal. Some people have families, some people have children, some people are single. We sit down with every client and find out what they truly want to do. And we work on a plan, not just 1, 5, 10, but a lifetime plan, because we work on the financial side as well. So we have to incorporate that. And when clients come on the tax side, they get all those complimentary meetings with us. When you talked about a dollar, we actually
That's amazing.
On the bottom right corner there's the dollar tax club. It's a dollar. It's our funnel. You can sign up for $1 and get an hour consultation for $1. We get hundreds of signups every month. People come on, ask advice, but reach out. Most professionals, most lawyers, most business advisors, coaches, accountants will sit down with you. They'll have a half-hour complimentary. Sit down with different accountants, sit down with different business coaches, sit down with different lawyers and get the advice, because some work with your type of business, some don't. And get that advice for not just 1 year from now, but 5 or 10 years. Say, okay, I want to retire by the time I'm 55 and I'm 25 now. Can I do it? How can I do it? Can you help me with a plan to get there? Some accountants have no idea.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.